Right, this was a story that was written in a children's book, which was passed out to children on Lag BaOmer. Lag BaOmer is 33 days from Passover. Lag BaOmer is the day that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai passed away. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, because he wrote the Zohar, which is the basis of Chabad Hasidut, which is the secrets of the Torah, which that's basically what we're learning. So hundreds of thousands of people go up to his grave every year, and Chabad makes big children's parades, especially in Israel and America. If Lag BaOmer falls on Sunday, which I don't know if that happens this year, they make big, huge parades because the kids aren't in school. So they make big, huge parades with non-religious kids, and they bring the army and the navy. Who knows what's going to be this year? They have the parades with this, and everybody takes part. It's very nice. Okay, so in Israel they passed out a little pamphlet with a story in it for the kids in Lag BaOmer, and this is the story that's told. According to I'm just quoting what it says in the story. So people told me it's not that, it's somebody else. But okay, this is the story. That there is a Chassid of the Rebbe's, and his name was Shochet, Rabbi Shochet. The way I heard it was Rabbi David Shochet. But anyway, Rabbi Shochet. Rabbi Shochet, this story must have happened 50 years ago, maybe even more. So this Rabbi Shochet, he's a good speaker, a genius person. His whole family, really, special people. And so he got an invitation by a bunch of priests to come to a priest school or wherever there was, and to give them a speech about charity. Or he picked the subject of charity, or they picked the subject. Anyway, the subject was charity. So he asked the Rebbe if he should go, because after all, this religion it's idolatry. It's not really anything. It's the opposite of Judaism, trying to destroy Judaism. Okay, but should he go or should he not go? I mean, the religion is false. It's a lie, but the people are good. The people they're genuine people. They don't know. So should he go or shouldn't he go? So this is the way I heard the story. Okay, the Lubavitcher Rebbe told him that he should go, and they should tell them the story of Yisrael Goy. Okay, so what's the story of Yisrael Goy? I'll tell you. So we went to them. I think they were all, at this time, they were all these priests. They were in a hotel. They came for a convention or something like that. So he spoke to them. The hotel, I think it was in California. Then he's in California. So he gave him the speech about the importance of giving charity, and when you give charity, you're not really giving of your own. You're only giving what God gave to you to give over to others and trust it to you. That's the Jewish way of looking at charity. So he said, "I want to tell you a story, and the story is called Yisrael Goy." Yisrael Goy. Now Yisrael means a Jew, and a Goy means a non-Jew. So it's Yisrael Goy. So what's the story? Once there was in a community in where is it? Prague? I think in Prague, Czechoslovakia. It used to be a huge Jewish community there. I'm talking 300-400 years ago. And there was the rabbi was Rabbi Yom Tov Lipkin. He has Tosfot Yom Tov. He's got an explanation on the Mishnayot. And he was the rabbi of the community. Okay, so he tells the story that there was a miser in the community of Prague. A miser was a rich man, had a big, huge, massive house, but he wouldn't give charity. People would come up to his door, they would knock on his door, and he would invite them in. He says, "Yes, we have orphans, we have widows, they're suffering." He said, "Oh, the plight of the Jewish people." He would cry. He said, "Just one moment." He would go to his safe, open it up. He would come back and he would give them like a quarter, $1. And so everybody got, $1. You just said, yes, the plight of the Jewish people. Okay, no, you'll have to go. I have to do something. So eventually his name was Yisrael. That was his name, of this stingy Jew. And they used to call him Yisrael Goy. They said only a non-Jew can be so stingy. can be so, how do you say, insensitive. Only insensitive. Usually the Jewish people are very charitable. Usually they're very charitable. They give the tremendous amounts of money are given to charities by Jews, especially the religious Jew. And this guy was a religious Jew. And, in those days, almost everybody was. Anyway, so religious Jew, but he wouldn't give money, wouldn't give charity. So they called him Yisrael Goy. So eventually he passed away. He got sick and he passed away. And but he left a will. And he said, I would like to be buried in the nicest place in the cemetery. And I want you to write on my tombstone that here lies Yisrael Goy. Right? He knew what everybody was calling him, this negative name. I want Yisrael Goy. I wanted that to be written on my tombstone. So the rabbis decided, listen, we don't have to bury him in the nicest place. Those are expensive graves. Instead of that, the money that he left as let's use this money to give to the poor, and we'll bury him in a bad place of the synagogue. There's no reason we have to bury him in the nicest place, not according to Jewish law. We'll bury him in a Jewish cemetery, but in the bad section of the Jewish cemetery. So they did that, and they put up the tombstone that says Yisrael Goy, and it was very difficult even to get 10 people to come to his funeral because he was so tremendously stingy, and he was like not friendly to anybody. And that's it. They were finished with him. And his house, I don't know what they did with the house. In any case, the next day, a couple days later, there comes knocking at the door of the rabbi. Opens up the door. There's 10, 15 families, poor people, families. They won't. The grocery store won't give us any food. And the Rabbi Lipkin says, "What do you mean? He won't give us food. We went every day. We would go and we get food, and they would. So, well, why did you pay?" He says, "No, we never pay." So, well, why should they give you money? Why should they give you food if you don't pay anything? I mean, if you want to, you can come. I'll give you some bread or something. I don't have to feed all of you. He said, they said, but we would go every day to the grocery store, and he wouldn't ask for money, and now he's asking us for money. What can we do? So the rabbi said, listen, come inside. I'll have my wife. So the rabbi went to the president of the synagogue, the sextant. There was like 50 families standing in front of his house. All of a sudden, he says, what's going on? The sextant said, I don't know what's happening over here. They're all coming to my door. They're all saying that the grocery stores won't give them any food for free, right? He says, yeah. So, well, why should they give them for free? I said, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So, listen, these people are hungry. I got to feed them somehow or other, but I don't have enough for 50 people. What are we going to do? Let's go down to the grocery store, me and you, and we'll buy food for them, but this can't continue. So they go down to the grocery store and they say, what is happening? Why don't you give to these people? They said, why should we give it to them free food? I mean, I'm willing to give to 1, 2, 10 people, but 50 people, 100 people, they come to my. I said, well, what do you usually do? He says, well, usually there's the guy that everybody calls Yisrael Goy, the miser, that everybody, he comes at the beginning of the month and he pays, he gives us money, and he says that anything that's lacking, if it's lacking, I'll come in the end of the month and I'll make up the debt. But you just can give to any of the poor people. That's what he does. So they said, really, that's what he does? So they went to the other grocery store, the same story. This guy that they called Yisrael Goy, that they thought was a big miser, in fact, at the beginning of the month, he gave them enough money to pay for anyone who wanted to buy vegetables or fruits or food, bread or whatever they wanted to for the whole month. And at the end of the month, if there was, any sort of a debt, he would pay that off, and then he would give money for the next. But now he's not coming. He said this month he didn't come. So, didn't give us any money for the beginning. And there was a little bit of debt from last month. So what are we supposed to do? So we figured maybe, we heard that he passed away. And so the rabbi suddenly realizes, that this Yisrael Goy was really a tremendously generous person, but he just didn't want anybody to know about it. He didn't want to get any, glory from the whole thing. So they also checked, and they said they afterward they checked after a while. I guess he had left a will by his lawyer that in a month after I pass away, open up, you can sell my house and give the money to the poor. Anyway, so the rabbi gathers, knocks on Shabbos, he knocks on the podium, and he said, "I want everyone on Sunday to come with me to the graveyard, to the grave of Yisrael Goy." So everyone gathers together, and the rabbi explains to them that you don't realize what a big mistake we made. We judged this person improperly. We thought he was bad. He was really good. Everybody's crying. So they go to the grave on Sunday. They're all standing there. And the gravestone is there, and it's got a big sort of a curtain over, a big like a sheet over it. And the rabbi says, Yisrael, we want to request from you forgiveness. We judged you hastily. We judged you negatively. We judged you improperly. Please forgive us. It was a terrible thing that we did. We should have judged you favorably. And I'm requesting, the whole crowd requests your forgiveness, right? Everyone says, yes, right, amen. And the rabbi said, no, I did something on your gravestone, and I hope you won't be angry. You requested that should be written on your gravestone, Yisrael Goy. Well, last night I had a little change, and he pulled off the thing, and it says Yisrael Goy Kadosh. Yisrael Goy means he was a Jew that was like a non-Jew. But Jewish people are also called, Goy means nation. The Jews are a holy nation. Yisrael Goy Kadosh is a holy nation. And that's what I wanted to put on your gravestone. That's the story that he told. Nice story. After he finished, all the priests, they clapped or whatever. One of the priests came up to him and he said, excuse me, Rabbi, can you tell that story again? So the rabbi said, listen, I wanted to go back to my hotel room. So listen, give me the address of where your hotel room is. I'll come over. I'll come to your hotel whenever you want. I'll call up and I'll come whenever it's convenient for you. So the rabbi said, okay. And so that's what he did. And this priest came over to the hotel and he told him the story again. And he said, he started to cry. And he said, well, what was so important to you about the story? He said, my mother told me that story. And she told me that I am a relative, either, I don't remember, either we're direct relatives of either this Yisrael Goy or of the rabbi, of Rabbi Lipman, I think, Lipman, Yom Tov Lipman, I don't remember. Anyway, so he's, either I'm a relative of him or a relative of this, right? He said, what, you come from a Jewish family? He said, yes, come from a Jewish family. But I left, my mother, she also left, but she always would tell me that we're from that family. She told me that story over and over again. So Rabbi Shochet, shook his hand. I think he put tefillin on him, etc. And Rabbi Shochet said that 3-4 years later, he was at the Kotel, at the wall in Jerusalem, and someone came up to him, a religious guy, and said, do you remember me? He said, I'm sorry, I met so many people, I don't know. He said, I'm that priest that you met, that you told the story to. That's the story of Yisrael Goy Kadosh. Have a good day with Mashiach now. See you tomorrow at 8:15.
See you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah.